Hello, teacher. I am still waiting for you because I have some questions to ask. I have serious problems with my pronunciation. I think that's the most difficult thing about learning English.
For some students, yeah. That might be true. So, you need help with your pronunciation, then.
Yes, I know I can speak English, but my pronunciation is not good. Can you help me?
Sure, I can. Pronunciation is key to being understood by native English speakers. I know many language learners that really struggle with their English pronunciation. Perhaps they've been learning for years, they can read complex English texts, and they can watch Netflix and YouTube videos and understand them, but when they speak with a native speaker, the other person can barely understand them. There are some things you can do. First, you need to understand that there is no right way to speak English. English is spoken natively in countries like Nigeria, Jamaica, and India, and native English speakers from each of these places will speak differently. And each of these ways of speaking English is right. Having said that, to speak English with someone, you must be understood. That's the important thing. Now, if there are many right ways to speak English, what accent should I aim for? My advice: pick an accent that you like and is relatively standard. Like the standard British accent, a standard North American accent, a standard Australian accent, or another one. Then aim to pronounce close enough to that. The more standard you sound, the better you will be understood by others. Now, learn to listen. Being able to pronounce words correctly requires that you can first hear the differences between various types of pronunciation. For example, you need to be able to distinguish a CH sound from a sh sound and a L from an R. This can be tricky depending on what your native language is. Get better at hearing the difference by listening to lots of native English speakers. Podcasts are great for that. Or also videos on YouTube. But you can't improve your pronunciation without listening. Always remember that. Practice moving your mouth differently. A huge part of pronunciation is making the muscles your mouth work differently than they are used to. Your lips, tongue, throat, and jaw are all involved in making the sound seriously. 10 tips for perfect English pronunciation. Listen to yourself, slow down, picture it. Get physical, watch yourself, copy the experts, practice English alone, find a language buddy, pay attention to intonation and stress, sing a song. I remember when I was learning English many years ago. My mouth felt sore from speaking in English all day. That's a good thing, my muscles were working differently than they were used to. Because I used to exaggerate my pronunciation. That helped me a lot. And that is another important part about improving your pronunciation. At the beginning, exaggerate. Exaggerate the sounds so your mouth gets used to it. At least, at the beginning. Let's do something. Here are some tips for practicing moving your mouth differently. Watch yourself pronouncing words using a mirror. This will allow you to notice how your mouth is moving and help you correct yourself. What else? Think about your mouth. In English, we usually use a more open mouth position as opposed to a closed mouth position that many languages use. Also think about how you're using the tongue. All right. What else you can do? Simple dot shadowing. Another way you can use a podcast to practice pronunciation is to do shadowing. Basically, shadowing just means repeating the words right after you hear it. Almost at the same time, like a shadow or an echo. It's really effective. Believe me. For practicing the physical aspects of fluency like pronunciation, rhythm, pitch, tones, and developing muscle memory in your mouth. I love it. I still do it. You can shadow any audio text from native speakers, and you could find many videos to do it. In my opinion, that is the best way, for example, to use these videos from YouTube to learn English and pronunciation. Record yourself. One of the best ways to correct your pronunciation is to listen to native speakers and compare your pronunciation to them. But often it's hard to really hear ourselves properly when we're speaking because we're busy thinking about what to say and how to say it. That's why it can be really helpful to record yourself speaking. Really helpful. That way you can go back and listen to know where you get stuck or where your pronunciation was significantly different from a native speaker. I will give you some ideas to record yourself. Record yourself shadowing a podcast. Then, play it back at the same time as the podcast. Take note of what words or sounds you pronounce differently. Practice those sounds. Record yourself pronouncing sounds you find difficult. Then, listen to a native English speaker saying them. What is the difference? Ask yourself this question. Recording yourself is also great for showing your progress. Look back months later and see how much better you are after all your practice. You will notice. Try even using a video recording to see the way that your mouth moves. And you know what? You don't need any special tools to do this. The microphone and voice memo app on your phone will work great. The important thing is that you get into the habit of recording yourself speaking and adjusting your pronunciation. It is really useful. Please, try it.
I will, teacher. I will do everything you said to improve my pronunciation. Can I ask you for more tips to improve my English, teacher? Please.
Sure. I will be happy to help you. If you also want it, please like this video.
Part of sounding natural is learning how to accent words appropriately. Each word has a syllable that's accented above the others. And each sentence has words that are accented above the others. Understanding how to accent properly is a huge part of giving your speech rhythm. Have your pronunciation trainer show you written words and sentences? Say them aloud and try to put the accents in the right places. If you get it wrong, try again. Once you're done with an exercise, mark the accents with a pen or pencil. Keep doing this until accenting is second nature. It's going to take a lot of practice. Speech shadowing is a technique in which you listen to a spoken statement and then immediately repeat it back. It's an excellent way to practice your pronunciation. Either shadow the words that your pronunciation trainer says, or if you want to have a bit more fun, shadow a character in a movie. I hope you liked this conversation. If you improve your English a little more, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend.